Alright, hi guys, this is Ninja. Some people know me by Adrian. Um, I was asked to do a video asking how I got to the weight that I had gotten to and sharing some of my struggles and things like that. Um, it's really hard to start stuff like this. Um, More power to a bunch of people who have been doing this. Uh, well, growing up, I was always on the chunkier side. After I hit about 10, and a lot of that was at first it was just bulking up like you do right before you go into your teen years, that baby fat. But instead of it just being left alone, I wasn't necessarily put on diets, but I was told you're gonna get fat, or should you really be eating that, or get your lazy self up, stuff like that. Okay, kitty cat, not a good place for you. My cat wants to say hi. Okay. Anyway, um, a lot of things, if I get sidetracked or something like that, you're always lazy, worthless, stuff like that. Um, I went through, graduated high school and everything, met a guy. That's how these things usually start, and got comfortable, and he was a cheeseburger and pizza kind of guy, so I ate cheeseburgers and pizza without that skinny guy metabolism to go along with it, and gained weight. Um, by the time I had my first son, I was 240 pounds. I ranged around 160 to 180 most of my teen years, occasionally 150, but I gained quite a bit of weight. Um, Life happened to get in the way when our son was born. He um, came out and said that he was gay and wanted to date other guys. So I went on and eventually met my husband now. And we got married when Anthony was about 8 months old. Uh, then a couple months later, we discovered we were having our second son, Logan. Uh, I hadn't lost all the weight that I had gained during that first pregnancy. So, and add on to that the demands of a baby and um, trying to eat, you develop bad habits like going all day without eating and then eating a huge meal at night when you have some peace and quiet. And your body works very efficiently. You gain a lot of weight doing that. And then you have my dear sweet husband, who love him dearly, but when he'd be off work, his favorite thing would be a late night Dairy Queen run or a late night Taco Bell run. Did not bode well for me. Again, I gained. By the time my second son was 6 weeks old, I was 240 pounds, 246 pounds and holding. And by the time he was 18 months old, I got on the scale and I was 276 pounds. And about 8 weeks later, got surprised by the discovery that we were having our third child. I made a point, I've been eating healthier and working harder, but I didn't know all the things that I know now as far as eating right and more of what to eat and when to eat it. I didn't know a lot of that. I just did the basic, let's eat healthy, let's eat lots of veggies, cut out the fried foods and everything. I did that and walked a good bit, and I didn't gain during the pregnancy, but By the time she was a year old, I was still 276. I was kind of hovering between 250 and that 276, 280 mark. I think at one point in time during my pregnancy, I quit keeping track after a while. At that point, I didn't want to know. I knew I was healthy aside from my weight as far as the pregnancy went, and really wasn't concerned about what the numbers on the scale said. It was just more stress that I didn't need because it wasn't. But anyway, there I was, 3 kids and bad eating habits, because at that point in time, if I wanted to get anything to eat, it was going to be later in the evening. I had ended up developing hypoglycemia. I would go through, there were more than one occasions where my husband would have to come bring me some juice just so I could get up off the floor. It was bad. I had higher blood pressure. It wasn't horrible to get, but it was getting there. But 2 years ago, well, not quite 2 years ago, it was May to June of 2011, I was massive. My size 22 pants were getting too tight. All I wanted to do was lay on the couch and just doze, and I had no energy. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go anywhere. My joints hurt just from the strain of carrying that much weight. I couldn't go out and run with my kids. I couldn't take them to the playground. I couldn't even handle them in the store on my own. They didn't deserve that. They deserved a mom that could go out and do things with them. They could have fun with. They could run with and play games. So I made the point that rock bottom, when those size 22s were getting too tight, I got on the scale and was 280 pounds. So I started walking and took advantage of the gym that we have here in our apartment complex, and started just making a point of eating a plant-based diet. I still hadn't discovered DDP yoga yet. My husband had discovered the documentary Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and I got him a juicer for his birthday. You may ask why I didn't do a juice fast. My husband did one for 3 weeks and lost 50 pounds. But that, of course, some of that came back as soon as he finished. That's just the way that goes. I was nursing 2 children at the time, so any kind of detox was not a good idea, because when you detox, all the environmental toxins and stuff that are held in your fat cells, those come out through all of your bodily fluids, so not something I want to feed my kids. So I decided that I would take it slow and steady and do things the old-fashioned way. And I decided that since my husband had such wonderful results with the juice fast, that I would just make a point of eating a plant-based diet, get out and work and move, and supplement with juice here and there. And doing that, I had some pretty good success. I lost about 80 pounds just doing that. But about a year ago, I kind of hit a plateau. I was stuck at about 206 pounds. Sometimes it would go down to 197, but it hovered. I still had some gluten and dairy and stuff, but I really didn't eat that much. But I was getting frustrated. There was 3 months from like March on up that I was stuck there. And then Arthur Borman's video went viral. It was very inspiring. I watched it several times. And then a friend of mine had ordered the discs, actually, and I was complaining about being plateaued, and she suggested that I give it a shot, and I try it out. I tried the first workout, and I tried the first workout and lost 3 pounds after 3 months of nothing. And that was it for me. I ordered the first set. And in my first 30 days, I lost, from that point, nearly 20 pounds. And was seeing success. I went gluten and dairy free. And my belly just evaporated. That's where most of what had gone. I toned up everywhere. And a little bit of backstory, I never thought that my body structure, especially after having children, was capable of going much smaller than a size 12. Well, in my first 30 days, I got down into a size 10. And that was just in my first 30, I believe. I've been working at it, and the original goal weight that I had set for myself after I started, at first I was just like, I'm just going to get up and do something just for the energy. I know that the more I work at it, the more energy I'll have, the better I'll feel, and the weight will just come off with it. Lost my train of thought. But yeah, and I had more energy and I felt better, and that's what drove me to keep working at it and keep working harder. I mean, I still had joint pain here and there. I started Team DDP Yoga and was doing the workouts, and I went gluten and dairy free, and I no longer had any joint pain. Muscle pain, yes, but not really any joint pain. And I've gone through, when I first set out for myself, I set myself a goal weight of 150. I'm at 152 now. And I think by the time that my body regulates itself, I'll probably be smaller than that. I'll probably go beyond that. My biggest struggle, though, is still it's a struggle with the children to not get into those old habits of not eating anything during the day and then gorging myself at night. It takes a lot of work to not do that. And the workouts, sometimes it's stressful trying to do my video workouts when everybody's home, but it's doable. It's easy compared to making the time for yourself and making yourself a priority. That is definitely the hard part for me, and something that I'm probably always going to struggle with, no matter what. But I think by the time everything does what it's going to do, I'll probably be a considerable amount smaller than the 150. But I'm just keeping my eyes on the prize and looking to the future. I don't have a whole lot of emotional investment with where I was in the past. I always tied my weight with my self-worth, and I always thought that if I was rejected for any reason, it was because of my size. If I was thinner, if I worked harder, then I would be loved and cared about. And, you know, looking back at it now, I wasn't that big when I dealt with those things. I got big. Oh, I got really big. But I learned and understood that there's people out there that are going to love you no matter what size you are, and you are important to people, no matter what. So you got to want that for yourself. You gotta want to be healthy. It can't come from any other external force. I guess that's it for me. I don't really have much else to say. Everyone have a happy new year.